3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Ladies and gentlemen, and I have a three-part interview done by my colleague Janne Marie Smit, so do stay tuned for that. Before we head into the news, today's riddle. When I'm used, I'm useless. Once offered, sooner rejected. In desperation, I'm often expressed. What am I? The three young chefs chosen to represent Namibia during this year's African Culinary Cup left for Abu Dhabi early on Friday morning and will cook on the 2nd of June. Team leader Chef Yannick is hopeful that the team is ready to bring the cup home once again. Namibia has won this prestige competition twice in the past 7 years. This year's all-women team is a first for Namibia. On the menu is a biltong crusted king clip, a chicken leg stuffed with omayovas, a mahangu vetkoek, rounded off with a beetroot chocolate cake and osha candela parfait. We caught up with Sanet Prinsloo of the Namibian Chef Association just before they left.
Hello guys, off we go. We have flown the coop. How nice it is to be back on an aeroplane, and so exciting. We are the Namibian Chefs team on our way to Abu Dhabi. We're going to attend the World Chefs Congress, but more than that, Wilka Angula, Elizabeth Isaiah and Lisa van der Merwe has been practicing for months under the keen eye of team captain Yannick Schweigart, and they will partake in the African Culinary Cup, and these girls are ready to bring the cup home. They will be cooking on the 2nd of June in Abu Dhabi, and I please want the whole of Namibia to root for them. I would like to thank Engine Namibia for giving us wings. Without them, none of this would have been possible. Superspark gave us loads of food to practice again and again and again. Thank you so much. Foles Men Outfitters made sure we look pristine for our competition and after that. Namib Mills gave loads of flour to practice our vetkooks with. And then of course Pro Brand Namibia gave us aprons and jackets, and then NPI gave us chickens because that's what we're cooking for the competition. So thank you Namibia for your unconditional support and love, and keep your fingers crossed so our girls can fly home with a big cup on their laps and make you all proud. Keep your eye on the Namibian Chef Association Facebook page and we'll keep you updated. Thank you.
Anyone who uses banking and financial services, social media, mobile apps, or has retail accounts has shared their personal information far and wide across digital systems. Preventing identity theft and protecting yourself against scams has become more difficult in this new environment. Anna Collard of Know Before Africa says it is virtually impossible to avoid having personal data circulating in the digital realm. Social media and messaging platforms, web browsers, and mobile apps already have access to vast amounts of data about each user. You can choose not to use social media or digital tools to avoid this, but it is not very practical to do so and would exclude you from some of the modern digital conveniences. Collard recommends Basic precautionary measures such as not using the same password across multiple accounts, not clicking on suspicious links, and never sharing your one-time PIN or banking PIN code with a caller. And the SPCA is doing another Clear the Shelter event, and this time it's going countrywide. For the second year in a row, the SPCA in Namibia will be hosting Clear the Shelters, most on Saturday, the 4th of June, with Luderitz and Oshana following on the 25th of June. Clear the Shelters is a major adoption drive, with many of the SPCAs offering reduced adoption fees and extended open hours, as well as multiple adoption counselors to attend to as many adopters as possible. Across the SPCAs in Namibia, there are currently over 300 pets waiting for their perfect match. These animals are mostly cats and dogs, and in Windhoek there are also rabbits and guinea pigs looking for new homes. These are all deserving animals, and the SPCA hopes that the Clear the Shelter adoption drive will shed some light on the importance of adoptions and the difference and impact it has on the lives of the animals currently in the care of the SPCA. One of the SPCA's core activities is the adoption program, effectively giving animals a second chance at life. The staff consulting on the adoptions know the animals well and can give lots of information on their personality, likes and dislikes, and temperament, and can guide potential adopters in how the animal may fit in with their family and their lifestyle. Last year alone, the SPCAs across the country provided a safe haven for over 5,000 new animals, over 4,000 of them taken in Windhoek alone.
Hi, Reinhold. Thank you so much for joining me today. You are an environmental scientist and you are also a climate justice activist here in Namibia. Can you tell me a little bit where this passion comes from for climate and environment?
Yeah, thank you so much, Jana. I'm a full environmental activist as well as a sustainability practitioner. And my passion for people and planet really started at a very young age because I was born in a small village in the north. And unfortunately for me, much what I could see, whether it's the beautiful forests that used to exist, were through narratives and stories told by my dad. And at that point, I think I really got passionate about people and about the environment to really restore the lost forests in our lands, but also in overall to start navigating and co-creating solutions to build the form of future we need, because as a young person, I grew up to see very little compared to the stories that was told by my dad. And since then, as a youngster, as a teenager that embarked on a sustainability journey, whether it's with the Namibia University of Science and Technology or with my studies with the Stellenbosch University, I really grew passionate about people and planet, and therefore committing my whole life and professional career to serve. In the midst of my studying, pursuing my Master's of Philosophy in Sustainable Development Management and Planning with the Stellenbosch University, I really fell in love with the idea of social justice because as a young practitioner or as a young environmentalist, I started realizing that at the center of development should be social justice, because in actual fact, sustainability should be about equity, equality, and the fair distribution of common resources such as water, such as land, and any other precious resources that are acting as life support systems.
Reinhold, for you, what are some of the gravest threats we as Namibians face as a result of the climate crisis?
Yeah. So Namibia as a country, we are arid in a sense that about 80% of our fresh water, rainwater evaporates. And over the decades, we have been facing very progressive droughts. In 2013, we experienced one of the worst droughts in 30 years. And as climate change continues to worsen, water as a critical resource is going to be affected because water also drives how systems functions. And for instance, since 2013 to 2019, we have declared a national state of emergency because of drought for 3 consecutive times, And with climate change, it's only going to get worse. We'll be facing more progressive droughts, and some of these, the severity of these droughts are quite evident already. We know what happened in the Kunene for the past 4-5 years, for instance, where local indigenous people face a climate migration. We really start to see that this causes as a cost and effect relationship, because we know the drought affected, for instance, communities in Kunene, but then later on we started seeing people moving to the city in search of greener pastures. And then again, that leads to another pressure in the city. So water is really one of the resources that is going to be affected by climate change, and it's quite critical for us as an arid country. Water is a vital resource for Namibia. It drives how socio-ecological systems function. It drives how people move. It drives the economy. And another element that is sort of going to be affected by climate change is food security, When the drought of 2013 hit Namibia, we became very food insecure. And unfortunately, with us, we are dependent on South Africa. And for the last years, we've started seeing the need and the urgency to sort of promote our local food systems because we have started seeing, courtesy of COVID-19 and now the war in Europe, we are seeing a lot of these food supply chains being affected. And we are going to suffer the most because we are not independent. We do not produce our own healthy and local food. So agriculture, which is also an important sector to Namibia, will be affected. We look at Windhoek and we look at the informal settlements or the poor communities where people are living in very destitute conditions. That what we are seeing is the worse the food security, the more the food insecurity, the more the social problems and health problems in terms of malnutrition. We are seeing, for instance, every 5th child that you find in Namibia is stunned, meaning that they don't get the right nutrition and the right kind of food. So these are some of the complications. And with climate change, all of these complications are going to get worse and they are going to be exacerbated by that. And I always say, perhaps the next pandemic will be on water and food, because these are critical common resources that shapes how society functions.
For today's recommendation, we will be heading to Corpo e Alma, a fantastic spa here in the capital, and I will talk you through sugaring. Stay tuned. Sugaring is a hair removal method that uses a sticky gel-like paste made from lemon, sugar and water. It is therefore safe, natural, and it uses no chemical additives. It is applied to any area that has unwanted hair and is then removed in the direction of the hair growth. Because sugaring doesn't stick to the top layer of the skin, it also doesn't pull at live skin cells. Instead, it removes the hair from the root, making it especially effective for ingrown and curly hair. And with constant use, you can actually minimize the amount of hair growth after only a couple of sessions. So there are pros and cons to everything. The pros is that it's a fast process. The sugar is water soluble, so residue cleanup is easy and also good on the environment. It is definitely, in my case, less painful than waxing. And like I said before, frequent sugaring can lead to the reduction in hair growth. The cons is that the consistency is very difficult to DIY, but in that case, go and spoil yourself. You deserve it. So the areas that you can wax include under your arms, your bikini area, as well as your legs. And how long does it last, you wonder? Sugaring results typically last around 3 to 5 weeks, depending on the area and the rate at which your hair grows. The beauty of sugaring is that it may reduce hair growth over time, meaning you'll have less hair to sugar each time a new appointment rolls around. It's very important to have your hair removal appointments on a regular maintenance schedule every 4 to 6 weeks to ensure the smoothest result and the most painless service possible. And this is something I did not do over the December holidays, and now I'm paying the price. I know you're wondering if you can do this at home, and my short answer will be no, don't risk it, because there is a risk, but that risk is based on user error. So if you're doing it yourself, you can burn yourself if the paste you are heating up is too hot. And there's a technique to pulling off the paste, and if that's done incorrectly, it could lead to bruising, and that's not something you want, right? So there you have it. That's my recommendation on sugaring. I've been doing it for, let's say, roughly 8 to 10 months now, and I will just not go back to shaving ever again in my life. Give them a call. Their personnel is fantastic, and definitely a thumbs up on my side. We'll be back shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, welcome to another exciting edition.
For today's life hack, this is perfect for the colder weather we are experiencing. Put your creamer or your milk in your coffee cup first before adding your boiling water. This will instantly mix it and also heat up your milk or your cream. Next up, Jeanette Diergaard for your Flex Minute.
Hi everyone and welcome back to Flex Minutes. I'm Jeanette Diergaard, your presenter for Flex. Now today I'll be showing you guys glute bridges. Now listen, they look easy, they seem easy, but they are not easy when you amp it up a bit more. So if you feel like your workout is getting too easy or you're getting comfortable in it, don't worry, you can always take it a level further. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys what you can do. So on our backs, glute bridges. Glute bridges, You're just lifting up and you're squeezing those glutes, guys. That is what we're doing here. This is the basic one, all right? So for you beginners, you can do this. You can start with your glute bridge, but now let's take it up a notch, all right? So lift up that leg and there you go. There you have a glute workout where you don't need to squat, where you don't need to pick up any weights, and you're just working on those cheeks, guys. So obviously alternating between the two legs and hold it there. So if you wanna take it a level up, hold it there for a few seconds, even for a minute if you wanna do that, and or you can pulse it. For modifications, you can have it in a figure 4 position and you lift and you squeeze. Constantly squeezing, guys, squeezing those glutes, because if you don't squeeze it now, nobody would want to squeeze it later. But that brings us to the end of today's Flex Minute. I hope to see you next time.
Could you figure out today's riddle? When I'm used, I'm useless. Once offered, soon rejected. In desperation, I'm often expressed. I am indeed an excuse. We will be back again tomorrow, same place, same time, and bring you the second installment of The Same Speaker. We hope to see you there. Goodbye.
Bedroom of my little home in the eastern suburbs of the city town, where our demons run amok and we got home. This taste for alcohol is such. Fear and scorn, or wrath of any woman, cause broken bones and missing artifacts from the nightclubs we own, and often rent to others who search for some reason for undercover love. You are my arbitrary love affair and adversary. You are my comfort in the night when all my friends have died. You are my arbitrary love affair and adversary. You are my helping hand. You are my concubine. From house flat lit to find a broken phone, so we don't have to call our folks, cause we're not old enough to own a landline, and we don't know if we can pay our rent this month. But I don't yet wish to find the time for peace of mind, and I don't yet think that I could lie. Let the world know I'm alright. You are my arbitrary love affair and adversary. You are my comfort in the night when all my friends have died. You are my arbitrary love affair and adversary. You are my helping hand. You are my concubine. Arbitrary love affair and adversary. You are my arbitrary love affair and adversary. You are my arbitrary love affair and adversary. You are my comfort in the night when all my friends have died. You are my arbitrary love affair and adversary. free. You are my helping hand, you are my contraband. You are my arbitrary love affair, an adversary. You are my comfort in the night when all my friends have died. You are my arbitrary love affair, an adversary. You are my helping hand, you are my contraband. Thank you very much.